we're going to talk about Mercury's retrograde, which happens June the 29th through July the 23rd. It is the memory before the future. But I'm going to get into the energy around it, what I'm sensing around it, and hopefully this helps support you. If you have never seen me before, hello, my name is Stasia. I am doing an astrology post. I channel energy, so sometimes the messages that come are very intuitive, but a lot of this is just the astrology of what is happening around this Mercury retrograde, how you can navigate what it's asking of you, and how to lean into the energy, or at least just be aware of what is happening in the energy so that you don't feel thrown off. Okay. So Mercury is going to station retrograde at 26 degrees of Cancer on June the 29th. In the very same day, we have a Capricorn full moon at 8 degrees of Capricorn. And then, really it's like 10:30 at night, the same night, Jupiter moves into Leo, but we're going to roll that into the 30th, depending on time and location. So on the 29th, we have Mercury retrograde in Cancer. And then on the 29th, we have the full moon. And on the 30th, Jupiter is going to enter Leo. This is going to immediately create a Capricorn Cancer axis, right? Because a full moon is an opposition. The sun and the moon are opposite each other. And so Cancer, Capricorn. Cancer rules private life. Capricorn rules public life. Cancer rules family. Capricorn rules career. Cancer rules emotions. Capricorn rules responsibility. So I feel like there is going to be a heavy emphasis on work-life balance, on, our roots of who we are and how we're showing up. And if that is the way that we want to continue to make money, build a career, and things of that nature are going to be very present. I will tell you that when a planet is stationing retrograde, that is when you're going to feel the energy the most, because that is the shift or the pivot. And so this weekend leading into like next week, the early days of next week, maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I just heard, and Thursday, we're going to feel this heavy. You may feel a slowing down of your mental state. You may feel like things are coming up from the past. But I think that the timing itself is just overly fascinating. Because as Mercury is stationing retrograde at the end of Cancer, Jupiter is entering Leo. And it's like the universe is saying, before you step into your next chapter, before you become more visible, before you lead, before you shine, before you talk your shit, you need to understand who you are and where you came from. Cancer, again, is ruling the past. It can rule the subconscious. And Leo is going to rule the future. And the retrograde is just the bridge between the two. So I'm going to give you the regular Mercury retrograde stuff and tell you to be mindful of those things. So contracts, buying houses, buying cars, making big purchases, check your email. There could be data that is leaked or gets out or things like that. So just be very mindful. A retrograde is not telling you to not do certain things. It's just telling you that there could be some confuckery. So make sure you are paying attention to the details more than you normally would. Like read the contract, read the thing, take your time and evaluate and review. Travel plans, social media, emails, text messages, don't drink and text. Okay. Don't drink and text, because you may pour your heart out and then wake up like, oh shit, I didn't mean it. I was, on one. So that is also coming through. But I think it's just really fascinating how the sky tells these stories to help us understand the times that we're in. So this Mercury retrograde is not given, oh, I made a mistake, or oh, I made a typo. It's something about understanding. And it's more in alignment with our experiences and not just facts, right? So I feel like we're going to be feeling some type of way. Like, I remember when this happened, or, oh, in my childhood that, or, I was having a conversation with a friend today, and she had a situation with her father which is very Capricorn energy, and she is a Gemini sun sign, Pisces rising sign. And there was just some things that he did that made her feel like he's always been like this and he's always going to be like that. But that is for her to evaluate, right? Because it is impacting her, and she clearly cannot take that into the future because it's not healthy for her, it's not good for her. And I feel like there are things like that that are going to be coming up. Like, you may be provoked by family or friends. You may also have some energy around like looking at the past. Like, I'm getting this energy of curse breakers, or you looking back at like your mom or your grandma or your aunties, like, why didn't nobody get married? Or why does every woman in my family act like a superhero? And why do they judge the fact that I just want a soft life? Or because in having this realization of us being in a different time frame than what they were in, and just the courage to move forward and not to carry those things as your own truth. So again, Cancer is asking you, what makes you feel safe? Where do you feel like you're at home? Where do you feel worthy? Where do you feel like, you don't have to hide who you truly are? And that is the version of you that you are moving forward, because this whole year is about newness. It's about all of these planets entering new houses, all of these planets hitting the 0-degree point of Aries, the year of the fire horse. Like, this is they're saying initiation. This is an initiation, and we are now about to be visible of these new versions of us that we have become. So the Capricorn full moon on the same day, what are you carrying that no longer belongs to you? Let that shit go. Capricorn is like, okay, so they're giving this energy of like, you don't have to be so masculine and work so hard. Like, you can also balance that feminine energy of home, of love, of peace, of like creativity, of comfort, I'm hearing, and still be successful. But I feel like we have to rewrite that narrative in our mind, because Mercury, the ruler of Mercury, Gemini, Mercury rules Gemini. And Uranus is in Gemini, and Uranus is saying, I am going to liberate you from your thought processes, from your narratives, from these old stories that don't even fit anymore. So just be mindful of like the experiences and the thoughts and the memories that are going to come up during this phase. And then Jupiter entering Leo immediately after. You cannot step into your future without understanding your past. Because then you become vulnerable of participating in it. And if you understand who you are and how you show up and what is true for you today, because Jupiter in Leo is about to make shit visible. I don't know where the Leo part of your chart is, but it's going to be visible. And whether you did good or did bad while Jupiter was in Cancer, and I shouldn't say good or bad because I don't even believe in that axis, but if you put out, you're going to get what you put out. Like, it's going to be visible. People are going to see how you showed up. People are going to see how you treat people, all those things. And that is going to be based on how you showed up in that. So watch for family conversations, house indecisions, childhood memories, emotional triggers, relationship patterns, right? Especially when it comes to like the mom and the dad, right? That because Cancer and Capricorn gives this like divine masculine energy. I will tell you, as Mercury stations on the 29th, there is a Mercury cazimi that happens on July the 12th, which means that this is our aha moment, our realization. This is when we get clarity of like, oh shit, okay. So mark that date. July the 12th is when there is a cazimi, but whatever the missing piece is should be given or presented or visible to you around the 12th of July, if not the 12th of July. So while Mercury genuinely brings back people, places, things, experiences, I want to remind you that just because a situation or experience shows back up or a person shows back up, it doesn't mean that you're supposed to reunite. It doesn't mean that you're supposed to like, oh, I knew you'd come back. Sometimes it's a matter of understanding, like, damn, I'm not even the same person to operate in this situation with you anymore, because that is my truth, right? Like, who we used to be when we used to do this, this, and this is not who I am anymore. And I think a lot of times God, source, spirit brings people, situations, experiences back around to show you how you do not resonate with those things, and for you to continue to make the choices to find the things. It's like, okay, well, if that's not it, then it opens up space for God's or spirit to fill things in that are it, that do feel good. But if you consciously make the decision to participate in something out of familiarity or comfort, with this retrograde in Cancer, I don't feel like it's going to give you the fruit that you think. I also would not start serious relationships when Mercury is retrograde, especially in Cancer. It doesn't mean that you won't meet people. It doesn't mean that you won't have conversations. But from a commitment perspective, I would wait until after July the 23rd, when Mercury stations back direct. There may also be situations that come back around, that you finally understand, because a lot of times energy has signatures, right? And it's like there may be an opening aspect of application of energy, and then there's like this intermission energy, and then there's like this finalization energy. And I feel like there could be things that come back around where you're like, oh shit, now I get it. Like, I feel like I was being not tested, but like where you were given experiences to learn and to grow and to deepen. And maybe there was like misunderstanding around that or confusion around that. I feel like there's going to be some clarity. Again, Mercury rules Gemini. Mercury also rules Virgo. So I would tell you to watch your health if things come up around your health. But I feel like a big part of this like emotional feeling of like, the experiences and the things that we've gone through is to help us rewrite a new narrative based off what feels good, or at least take out the things that we know no longer fit. Okay. I hope that supports you. Again, Mercury is going to retrograde June the 29th through July the 23rd. Happy Mercury retrograding. I love you.